and RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a good one. So we've got the next one in our season or sessions or groups of stuff that Agnes and I did. The song we just did right there, I love this. This is actually off of Scrubs episodes where I first heard this. The group is called the Polyphonic Spree, and the song's called Light and Day. Very cool song. And we'll be closing out with an Information Society song. This particular one is dealing with expanding your energies, and it's a real short one. We talk a lot about some of the different things that you can expect to see or good habits to maybe get into when you're trying to expand your energies. So check it out and see what you think, and hopefully you dig it, and we'll be closing out here shortly.
Bring up, I think, a great point, actually, or at least you made me think of something. But a lot of times, too, some things that as we're developing and growing ourselves, especially when we're a little newer in this game of manifestation or imagination, sometimes you've got friends that might start to fall by the wayside as we start to shift upward. A lot of people, I think, maybe have a hard time. I'm curious what you think on this, but maybe have a hard time letting go of old ties, thinking that they should hang on to those relationships. But in reality, that's part of your growth and heading into this higher energy, and you're sloughing off things that are going to get replaced with better energy or better friends that are more supportive or have a better view of what you're capable of, or whatever that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely happened quite a few times in my life. I've got one friend that I've had for 20 years, and she bought me my very, very first two manifesting books, Florence Scovel Shinn and Neville, The Law and the Promise. And we do 3 questions every day, and we've done them for years and years and years. And she is my flock. We've still, when we started, we weren't looking up YouTubes. All we had was we'd go to the bookshop and buy books.
Right.
And then we'd say, okay, get that book. And then we'd share the book. And if it was good, we'd both buy a copy. So she's the one that's hung around forever with me. And the 3 questions that we do have been the Neville, Esther Hicks inspired questions of what do you want? And then you say, no, I'm great. What do you appreciate? What do you want? And what makes you think you're going to get it? And the last question presupposes that you will get it.
Right.
So we do these 3 questions every day. And we have done that for years. And it's a really good way to commit stuff to memory and to be able to say it out loud to someone day after day after day. Because Neville talks about things becoming natural, that they feel natural. And the repetition is what makes things feel natural. So I used to say to her, I now travel from London to Sydney, back and forth, and I take my work with me, and I can enjoy my mum, and I can enjoy Australia, and I can enjoy London and the south of France. So I would say this to her day in, day out, day in, day out. And then it became a reality.
And I think that's a great example of one. If you've got a friend that's kind of been in this path with you, because obviously she's into this same concepts, right? Versus those friends that are very, no, none of this can happen. You're crazy. You're making stuff up. And those might be the friends that you don't hang out with as much anymore. But having that person, like you said, having that person where you can talk about something like, this is normal. This is reality. This is how it works. And then they bounce the same things back to you. And but it's just that reciprocation, or that that synchronicity, that resonance almost, if you will, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I find too, like when we would read something out of Neville, which was fairly, wordy and complicated, I'd say highlight it, and I'd say to her, what do you make of that? So we've done that for like 18, 20 years of highlighting and breaking things down. And I thought, all those years of doing that with her basically is the knowledge that's built up my YouTube channel. Right.
That's pretty much what you're doing in YouTube now, except for all these other people that aren't necessarily doing this yet. So
so it was it was totally a personal fascination between me and her. And then it became, something that started off a creative love of mine, and then connecting Because I think sometimes, like you say, you've got friends that don't do this. I have friends I don't even mention this stuff to, and I've known them like 15 years. They don't even know I do this.
They're like, you have a YouTube channel? What?
So what are you doing now? Oh, I'm a YouTuber. What?
Yeah, right. When did you start doing that? I don't know, like 5 years ago. I had to,
Yeah, but they're not that interested, or they like living in reality. So I don't even bring it up.
Well, it's funny is I had a discussion. It's a very good friend of mine that I know from the coffee shop, and she just recently subscribed and started watching some of my stuff. And so she had some weird questions this morning. We were talking about maybe seeing like significant patterns in the world. Like she brought up, so say, I think it was the number was 423. So say that number means something to you. Well, now you're looking for it and you see it everywhere you go. And I said, well, yeah, there is that. When you are looking for something, you will see that something more often.
Yeah.
But the big point around that is when you open yourself up to noticing things that show themselves. And my example that I used for her, which is maybe kind of off topic somewhat, but I'm like, have you ever seen a shooting star? If you think about that glimmer, that 1 to 2 seconds at best, that you happen to look exactly where that star was coming down, if you think of how freaking impossible that actually is, that's a great example of you can start to notice some of the, what I kind of like to playfully call magic in life. You start to see a lot of the fun little coincidences for those that are new to it, but you start to see the synchronicities. You start to get information from the universe that's like, no, good job. You're on the right track, or, cheerio, mate, or whatever the right thing to say is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And it's, I mean, this is what Esther talks about all the time. This is a focus-based universe. You're always going to get what you're focused on. So if you're looking for the magic, you're going to see it.
All right. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that. Like I said, short and sweet, but covered some really cool stuff. I kind of personally think the shooting star thing is really neat, by the way, but just throwing that out there. I think it's amazing when you see them. And so I think it's always a good example of some of the magic that is out there. I think I've got 3 more of these Agnes videos coming out. 2 more coming out after this one. We'll push those out for the next couple days. And this is Information Society, What's on Your Mind, or Pure Energy. So thank you for sticking to me. If you'd like to comment or email me, feel free to do so at spiritradiodanstyle@gmail.com. And, of course, check out Agnes Vivarelli's channel as well. And if you're visiting from her channel, well, thank you and welcome aboard. Appreciate it. All right, we'll be going out. We'll do some more of these. We'll see what happens. But thank you for joining me. And Pure Energy, what's on your mind?
You can't hide. I wanna know.